How's it going, YouTube? It is 8 a.m. here in New York City, and I'm in the West Village with none other than David Brissetti, who is behind the camera. And today, you and I are talking about the fat burning zone, which has recently been a very, very common question in my Instagram DM. And what I want to do is, number one, explain what the fat burning zone is. Number two, explain the major myth associated with the fat burning zone. And number three, make sure at the end of this video, you know the single most important factor to ensure that you not only burn fat, but you keep it off forever. So very basically, number one, what is the fat burning zone? The fat burning zone is when your body is using fat to fuel your exercise as opposed to, say, carbohydrates. Now, the reason this is important is because a lot of coaches have said, since your body is using fat to fuel the exercise as opposed to carbohydrates, if you want to burn fat, that's what you need to do because your body's burning fat. And it makes sense logically if you just think about it, but it's a very short-sighted way of looking at things because the reality is if you want to lose fat in the long term, it doesn't necessarily matter whether the calories you burn come from fat or carbs, as long as you're burning enough calories. That is the key to all of this. And this is really the key to making sure you burn fat and keep it off forever, is that you're in what's called a net calorie deficit. This is the key right here. And this is actually why nutrition is such a prime and realistically more important component for fat loss than exercise, because when you exercise, you might burn 100, 200, 300 calories unless you're really going for several hours at a time, which most people aren't. Nutrition, you can really manipulate how many calories you're eating because the single most important way, the only way to burn fat is to be burning more calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight. That's it. It doesn't matter if it's coming from fat or if it's coming from carbs. If you are burning more calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight, you will lose. If you're eating more calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight, you'll gain. Period. End of story. That's just how it works. So if you are trying to lose fat, don't worry about being in the fat burning zone or being in a higher intensity or lower intensity. Don't worry about what zone you're in. Focus on being in a net calorie deficit, period, end of story, which basically just means eat less than your body needs to maintain its current weight. Now, it sounds easy. It's not easy, but it is simple. And that's really the message I want to get across. It is that simple. People like to throw around terms, fat burning zone, glycolysis, gluconeogenesis, Krebs cycle, blah, blah, blah. They like to throw around all these terms to try and confuse you. Don't let it confuse you. Eat less calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight, and you will lose fat, I promise you. Now, how do you know if you're in a calorie deficit or not? Well, there are many ways, but in the description of this video, I'm gonna place a link to an article that I wrote that specifically outlines everything you need to know to make sure you are in a calorie deficit. Now, it's totally free, there's no catch, just click the article, you can go through, it's on my website for free, and you'll learn exactly what you need to do to put yourself in a calorie deficit so you can lose fat over time. There's a lot of confusing information out there, there's a lot of people saying do this, do that. What I want you to do is just try it. Just give this a shot, and not for a day or a week or a month. Give it 90 days, give it 3 months. If at the end of 3 months it doesn't work, fine, try something else. But I promise you, if you are consistent with this and you give it your all and you are patient and you are dedicated, you will see progress 100%. Any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you, I love you, I'll talk to you soon.